Hi, my name's Steve Howes and welcome to my latest blog where we're going to be looking at configuring a PDM project to replicate a handheld HART communicator. So this is a page out of a Siemens manual for a Citrans LR250 and it shows you here that you need 250 ohms in your loop. You need to have that resistance in the loop for the HART to work. So a common mistake is most applications when you go to site, your cable length and the resistance of the input card is already in the region of 250 ohms. It may be even greater than that. So you add your 250 ohm resistor, and if it takes you over 700 ohms, then there's a chance that the HART communications won't work. So there's another reason there that we have to be careful of. There's others. Noisy power supplies. So normally when you're using PLC input cards, it's fine, but there are some lower cost models on the market that you have to be wary of. Hazardous area barriers. A lot of those on the market will allow HART to pass through, but again, the cheaper models won't allow HART to pass through to the safe area, which is where you'll be connecting. So you have to take all of that into account. So one of the biggest mistakes people make is they go straight into PDM without proving the HART communications first. Okay, so if you use the recommended HART modem from Siemens, you get a program with it. So if we go to, this is a Windows 10 machine, and type in Viator, you can see there Viator check. Okay, and the nice thing about this is when it powers up, the first thing it will tell you is, because this is a USB device, is the COM port that Windows has assigned to that device. So my advice is once you start using this USB modem is to try and always plug it into the same USB port. It will make sense as we go along. So out of the box, the device should have a HART address of 0. So if we click on check HART device 0, it hasn't got a full EDD library backing it up. It's a very basic tool, but it knows it's a Siemens device and it's got the tag of the device. I can also read the primary variable, so I can see here, I can check with my display, but normally that should be okay. If somebody has changed the HART address, well, if we're doing HART multi-drop-in, our limitation is address 0 to 15. So as soon as you change the HART address from 0 to another value, it's in multi-drop mode. But you can click on this check all HART devices, and that will scan all of the HART addresses, just in case somebody's changed it. So we're happy with that. The important thing is, before you go into PDM, is to close this program down, because this does grab hold of your communication port for the HART modem. So if you've got this open in the background and then you go to PDM, then it's not going to work. So make a mental note here of COM port 3, and then we're going to open up PDM. So with no projects open, we're going to start a new project. And it makes sense to call this HART master, because if you've got a single tag license, you can open this and do a save as, so you're not creating it all the time. So there's my project. I'm just going to put that to large icon so you can see it better, and there's nothing there. So the first thing I've got to do is insert a new communication network, and then if I click on assign type, there's a few here. A HART server is not what we're after. That's for HART multiplexing, and we'll cover that in another video. We've got a HART modem, so we insert that. Now the thing that will catch you out is that this defaults to COM port 1 for your USB HART modem. So if we click on the PC, we can see the interface for the COM port. So if we do object properties on that, and you should only have to do this once if you keep plugging your HART modem into the same port. So we were COM port 3. Okay. So that's my network saved up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an instrument to it, show you how easy it is to add an instrument now. So with the HART network selected, you can rename these, by the way. This is purely text at this stage. So I can insert a new object, HART address 0, and if I assign the device to type, and I have a full library, so I can go through here and manually select it. But if I have the EDD, I can click on device identification. I know the communication's already good, and this has found the new Siemens Citroen's LU240 probe. So I can add that into the network. Okay. So once I have that in to prove the comms, it's just a simple case of go to PDM, update diagnostics. And I can see that here I have an issue because again, it's sat on my carpet and it's not getting a signal because it's not firing into free space. And from here, I know the communications is working. So that has set up my project ready for me to go in and have a look at more detail. So I can open this. So I'm not going to go into this into a massive amount of detail, but the important thing is the first thing you should do when you communicate to any device is to upload the parameters. Because if you download first, you're going to be downloading all of the default parameters into the unit. And if it's only a simple change that you've had to make, you may have created yourself a lot more work. So always do an upload first. You can always save that project and close it down so you've got that project as a backup just in case it all goes wrong, or you can do a file export because you can then import and download. So now that has finished, it's performed its upload, it will update and I get these symbols here. This is showing me that it has communicated to the device and it's uploaded all the parameters. As I said, if you've got your parameters and you want to save them with the single tag license and the basic with the extended, we can export these parameters. I'm just going to export them onto my desktop so you can see what they look like. And there's two reasons you might want to do that. You're generating a report for somebody who hasn't got PDM, so they want to see the parameter set, but also you can store these in a central location. If there's a few service engineers working, rather than just keeping it on your PC, have a central location with all these backed up. And then when you go to site, you can retrieve those and make sure the parameters stay the same. So we can see there it's been successful with the export. So if I come out of here, you will see a couple of files that it's generated. So this is my mapping for my HTML. So if I click this on, this is the actual parameter XML. It will open up. Well, it's opened up Windows Explorer. There's my parameter set. So I can import that at a later date if everything goes wrong, and I can see my device status. So I'm hoping you got some use out of that, and we'll look at other methods of configuring PDM on other communication protocols such as Modbus and HART multiplexers in other blogs.